week's edition of World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley reporting to you from Washington, D.C. And we're recording here. It's Tuesday, the 30th of December, getting down to the last days of the old year. So this program must therefore be seen as our first week in the new year edition. And that means 12th night. I believe that's January 5th. And our edition for Epiphany, the 6th of January. And, of course, Epiphany is what we always aim at here, right? Every week of the year, we try to provide some striking, sudden realization of an important truth where you get to see into the essence of things. And that's our approach, and we hope to provide something this time. And here's our general concept. January 2015, and in particular the time leading up to January 25th, 2015, is, we must attempt to make it, a time of worldwide mass strike against the speculators, the zombie bankers and the hedge fund hyenas, and against their tools at the central bank. It's time to tax speculators. The 1% Wall Street sales tax, the 1% City of London sales tax, the 1% Frankfurt sales tax, the 1% yen speculating sales tax. You get the idea. It works everywhere. Cut the power of the finance oligarchs, the parasites, the usurers, and so forth, and restore a level playing field between physical production and financial speculation, right? And essentially dry out the derivatives plague by slapping a nice 1% tax on all derivatives transactions. Right? As we pointed out last week, the Washington Post has estimated that there's about $300 billion too much going into Wall Street. That's probably about the take of a 1% Wall Street sales tax, at least initially. And then you see where it goes. So the mass strike, and you'll remember, as of June 2013, not this past year, 2014, but in June 2013, I was at the Left Forum in New York City, and I put out the perspective that there would be mass strike developments coming in 2014, 2015 in particular, on the model of the 1930s. That was the template we were working with. So now we see it's likely to happen. And in particular, it starts, of course, with SYRIZA, that the Greek reactionaries of the New Democracy Party, the Samaras party, have failed to impose a reactionary austerity ghoul as president of Greece. This election takes place, of course, in the Greek parliament. It's on that kind of a model, but they have failed. They have not been able to get 180, or now even 160 votes in the Greek parliament. So Greece will now vote, the cradle of civilization, on the 25th of January. All indications they will be voting for Alexis Tsipras and SYRIZA. That will already begin to blow the lid off the entire system, because SYRIZA, of course, is anti-austerity. It is anti-Troika, that is to say, anti-IMF, anti-European Central Bank, anti-European Commission. That would be, in particular, the new Olli Rehn, Moscovici, Monsieur Moscovici of the European Commission. They're against him. And they demand a renegotiation. It's going to be time for a mohawk. It's going to be time for a haircut on the creditors of Greece. They're going to get slashed 1/2. And if they get away with 1/2, they're going to be very lucky. I would do much worse. I would delete and shred all derivatives. I would wipe them out and not even discuss them. So Greece is obviously one element. And then we have Belarus, and of course behind Belarus, Russia. And somewhere in the mix, Venezuela is teetering on the edge of default. So Greece, a new anti-austerity government, the political challenge. Belarus, capital controls, exchange controls being implemented. And there are even signs that Russia is going down the same path. And therefore Russia. Venezuela, the oligarchs are licking their chops. They think they're going to be able to loot the Citgo, the old cities service Citgo gasoline system, which gives free heating oil with the help of one of the Kennedy clan, as you've seen on TV, quite likely. So this is all adding up. We've got a contraction going on in the world. The price of oil continues to fall. As of today, West Texas Intermediate, $53.41. It's below $54. That's quite significant. That, of course, is dragging down the Russian ruble. The Russian ruble oscillated today, the 30th of December, last full trading day of the old year, between 58.92 to a dollar and 54.90 to a dollar. That's the Russian ruble exchange rate. And yesterday, of course, the 29th, the Russian ruble had a 7% fall. So the speculative attack by the Anglo-American zombie bankers, London and Wall Street, on the Russian ruble and the Belarus ruble and other currencies is continuing, even as the world economy continues to contract. The big news on that front, oil, you've just heard it, oil well below $54 a barrel. Copper has now broken through some of its support levels. Copper is now headed down, down, down. And, of course, copper is a direct indication of how much building construction and other stuff is going on, especially in China, because copper is for wires. You want to build a building, you got to have copper wiring most likely, and copper is now not in demand. Iron ore remains at a long-term low. So lots and lots of raw materials, not necessarily all, but many of the most basic ones continue to go down. Inflation is not the issue anymore. Don't tell the libertarians, don't tell the Paul-tards, because they think that hyperinflation is always right around the corner. What we seem to be seeing now is the beginning, or the continuation, it's not just beginning, of a phase of deflation, or disinflation, as they say, when they don't want to scare you.